in my path of trying to become a bodybuilder and retire and learn about anything that I want, such as bodybuilding, health, money, relationships, and so on, I felt all kinds of emotions, right? I wanted to cry, I wanted to give up, I felt a lot of fear, I felt a lot of emotions that are negative to most people, right? And most people, because they feel those emotions, they don't want to feel them, they want to avoid them by taking drugs, or they don't want to do anything anymore, they don't want to push forward because they are uncomfortable, right? But I think that's the reason you should push forward, because you are climbing a mountain that you actually want to climb. That is your goal. And you are going to feel emotions, you are going to experience growth. Even if you want to scream, or even if you want to throw up, you are going to grow as a person overall. This is not your inability as a person, it's just that you are actually growing as a person. Yeah, I understood that I am ugly and I wanted to fucking kill myself for that, right? But I learned more and more and more and more and more why the fuck do I am ugly, what can I do, and all of this stuff, and I start improving, right? Even if I'm not, again, better looking, I am a little bit better looking, and I understand a lot of things, and I can help a lot of people because of that, right? I have information and health and about health and everything. And about, for example, money, I was like, bro, I cannot live broke. I felt so fucking pissed when I saw other people in luxury cars or having luxury things. Even if I knew most of them rent those things out, they have money from their parents. But how those fucking parents achieve their money? Why, why not me? Why the fuck them? And I tried a lot of things. I tried working in, again in UK, doing illegal stuff, right? I've tried to improve listening to podcasts, how can I invest, how can I do this, but in reality, all I've tried, besides bodybuilding and video games, which I actually tried, I could still improve in those aspects in hindsight, but I gave it everything that I knew at the moment. Usually I don't stop, I just postpone things. So if I know I have to do something, I will do it, but later. It's not that I will not do it ever, but I will still do it. If I know I have to do blood work, I have to do my steps, instead of doing them today, I will do them later, which is, again, not good, but not bad. I Actually, it's bad, but it's not bad that it will lead me to my failure, to my downfall. It will slow down my rate of progress, because when I moved fast, when I hit failure a thousand times and move forward and get feedback and improve, I actually got very good results. So that was the time when I was in UK, and I learned so many fucking things about, like, making money, working a lot, stress, compounds, steroids, blood work, health, money, real estate, credit cards, like all sorts of things. Why? Because I was continuously improving, but I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. I thought very badly, right? But this was the pain of learning, of growing as a person. Because if you are over focusing on something, you are going to feel some kind of strong emotions. It's fucking normal, it's only human. But that's not a sign you should stop. That's a sign that you are growing and you are changing as a person, so you should continue to do that. Most people, when they feel uncomfortable on their diet, they think they should stop. And when they up their calories, they think they should go back, because right now they don't have any kind of discipline. But that's not the point. It's a part of learning and growing as a person. Even if you want to do 1,000 things that are bad, right? That's not an example of your inability. That's just growing. If you fail, you grow. Of course, like, you, at least you have the bare minimum knowledge, so that you don't do like the basic mistakes. But the faster you go through mistakes, the faster you are going to learn. Let's say you do 1,000 mistakes, right? It does not matter, the most basic mistakes, and you still push forward and continue and don't fuck up, and you are not dead yet, you're going to progress faster than the guy who knows all your mistakes because he doesn't do anything. Let's say about let's say about steroids, let's say you do all the fucking dump cycles and you get all the fucking side effects in the world. You get gyno, you get acne, you get like increased heart rate, blood pressure, all this stuff, right? Like kidney stress and all the things. Yeah, on a long enough time frame, you are going to damage yourself more, right? But because of this, you are going to learn so much more if you actually have a problem, if you check for a problem, and you want, for example, you have high blood pressure, how can I fix that? And you apply it and you learn, right? When you have a problem and you solve it as fast as possible. But it costs, right? You are going to have some scars, because you're not going to get away with acne. You are going to have scar acne, even if they're small. You can get away with gyno if you fix it fast enough, but if you leave it, if you don't act fast, you are going to have gyno forever, or you need surgery. You can stress a little bit your heart, your liver, and things like that, but if you are going on a long enough time frame with big dosages, there is a no-no. You should not fuck your health, because you can learn a lot, but you cannot push the envelope if you want to push the envelope in the future, right? You get scars, but you also got the experience, so you don't actually need to push the envelope. If you work so many fucking hours in your when you are young, you are probably going to damage yourself and your brain a little bit. But because of that, you get so much experience that you don't need to work so many hours, right? And of course, the best thing that you can do is not get the side effects, not work so many hours that you fuck your health and make work a job that pays higher for the same amount of money, right? So you work less and you get paid more. But I will not say I'm like the guy that hit all the side effects in steroids or in money, but I made some basic mistakes. But because I moved decently fast, I didn't move fast, I moved decently fast. I still could learn a lot, and right now I know I'm confident, and I'm not a confident person, because I know I don't know many things, but I'm confident in myself that I can help a guy who has bad health. Using steroids, I can help him a lot. I can fix his cholesterol, liver. I can try to fix his kidneys. I can try to recover him from injuries. Because I know it. I've done it myself. I didn't heal myself from actually being sick, having bad shit like that. But I know my stuff. I'm confident in this because I've done it. I've done it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe I didn't have that problem, but I that range of. For example, my levels were elevated and I could bring them down, and I know how can I bring them lower. So if you have levels like this, I know how can I bring them lower, because I actually did it. Yeah, research is important. Learning from other people is important, but the most important thing is actually practicing yourself, because you can read 1,000 studies, you have to actually do it for yourself. Finasteride and Roaccutane are fucking demonized. You should not use them because you're going to feel like shit. I've used them, I feel good, and my cholesterol markers and liver markers are perfectly fine on a high dose of Accutane, even on 60 milligrams a day. So with all those studies and all those fucking people, yeah, I know there is a difference because people respond differently. But even if 1 second, because I want to fucking. Okay, so I have to pause the video for a second. Even if people respond differently to drugs and to medications, I know what's the range. I know how can people respond. So maybe, for example, I take finasteride and I don't feel shit. Maybe some people, their penis become not so sensible to the touch, because you have some receptors and shit like that, and you don't feel good and you fuck your sex life, right? I know how that works, even if I didn't get that. There is a spectrum of side effects from guy to guy to guy, from individual to individual. But because I am from one of the spectrum, right, I have my biases, but I can still use my brain and realize that you can get your side effects, right, here. But yeah, this is I don't want to make this video longer, but the thing is, when you feel you want to scream, you want to cry, you want to stop, you feel uncomfortable, that's not a sign of you to actually stop. That's just a sign of growth. If you are starting to sweat and you feel like the rep is getting harder, the gym and diet is getting harder, and you think you want to stop, you don't want to stop. You want to get out of the uncomfortable zone, but that's not good. You should continue to push forward, and then again stop the diet and things like that, and you are going to get a progress. You are going to grow as a person, and that's it. So no, when things get hard, you should not stop just because things get hard. You should continue to push forward and realize that this is just a part of the process. And if it wasn't actually hard, there was no value to it. The reason that it actually has value, it has the thing that has value, making money, looking good, being healthy, it because at some point it was hard. Because sometimes I think to myself that the things that I do, right? Like for a small period of time, bro, like this shit is so fucking hard, and I'm very happy. I'm very glad for that. I'm very happy that there is a high ceiling for actually becoming an interesting person and a confident person and a person who is respectable and a guy who can use steroids. There is a high ceiling entry to this. Nobody can, not nobody, but not all people can just use an injection, beat their fucking ass and become huge and jacked without getting side effects, without having the bad blood or they have to manage it. They have to pay for somebody else or they should research for themselves. And people don't do that and they just want the shortcuts and they're going to fuck themselves over very bad. And I'm very glad for that. Why? Because if I actually work hard, I can get the benefits and I can mitigate all the bad things that come with it. And I can get the benefits. This comes with money as well. Because I understand how they work, I can get money, I can get retired, and I'm not going to stay in this fucking loop of making illegal money, going to prison, or just trying to make more and more and more and more because I understand how they work. I'm going to get them. This is my goals. This is the level of money that I have. I will reach my goals, and that's it. I don't need to make more money because I think my goals are hard because I have to impress other people. So, if it's hard, it's good. It has value. If it wasn't, if something is that easy, it probably doesn't have value. It probably doesn't have value if something is that simple and anybody can do it. If you tell me right now, you just spin yourself and you are going to get big and you can live for 100 years, that's probably fake. You have to do 1,000 things. Vitamin C is good, but on its own is pretty not useless, but it doesn't make a big effect on your longevity, on how you feel. The more it makes a change, the more things that you have to actually do or look for. So, yeah, if it's hard, it has value. It doesn't mean because of your inability to do something, you should stop. Continue to grow. It does not matter.